Do you know yourself? How well do you know yourself? Do you know what you believe about certain things? How much priority you give to certain things in certain areas of your life? To know yourself is like half the battle, Sun Tzu would say, to know your enemy being the other half. So today I want to talk about 4 questions you can use to know pretty well where you stand on an issue or a circumstance or whatever. This is the Word Podcast, episode 204, and let's get into it. So, when I'm at the mission, and we're going through classes with the guys, it's a recovery mission for those that may not know. I'm a chaplain there. Um, we use certain questions to kind of dig in and try to understand where people are at to help them go from where they currently reside, both emotionally, relationally, mentally, financially, spiritually, to where they need to be. So going from point A to point B. And so I'm always looking for new and better ways to get to it quicker so we can get on track, right? And so there was a question that was proposed in a assignment that said if Jesus was to come right now and was to ask you, what have you done with your time, your treasures, and your talent? You have to give account of it. And I was like, wow, that's a pretty good question. What have I done with the treasures he's given me, the talents he's given me, and the time he's given me? And so, starting with that understanding, that's only 3, obviously. Starting with that understanding, I said, how can I keep that as a constant evaluation, not for paranoia or overthinking, but really not getting deceived, not becoming complacent? How can I use this to further where I want to be and know where I'm at? Because we got to know where we're at so we can know where we want to go. So I asked myself the 4 T's. Just came up with another T. So ask yourself, don't try to figure out a general view of it, but just ask yourself, it's almost like a personal audit. If you were to lay your life out before you, almost like a spreadsheet in those 4 categories, and I haven't given you the 4th one yet. So we'll start with the first 3. Your treasures, your money, your finances, how you spend your money. If you were to lay out and say, okay, all your budget, and you could do this practically, actually, by sitting there, write it out, or you can get a good general idea. I spend most of my money on these things. Or maybe this way, since the camera's backwards. These things, right? This is what I spend my money on. And try to prioritize maybe top 3. 1, 2, 3. Health, my possessions, my whatever. Then you say to yourself, talents. We all have certain talents, right? We all have certain things we're good at. That if we were to be a part of some kind of unit or team, they'd be like, you're that guy. We need you to do X, and this guy's going to do Y. You're good at this. He's good at that, or she's good at that, whatever. So talents. Where do you spend the majority of your talent that you're given, that natural bent? Where do you spend it most of the time? Right? And then you have what time? The time you have available from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. Where do you spend that, your time? And the last T is your thoughts. Where do you spend most of your time in your head? The things you think about, the things you're concerned with. So you ask yourself, what is your treasures, your time, your talents, and your thoughts? What do they reveal? And then ask yourself what you thought you prioritize very highly. And then ask yourself, how much of those 4 things do you actually spend in that area? Give you, for instance, like number 1 out of the gate would be your relationship with Jesus. Ask yourself, scale of 1 to 10, of your treasures, how much is done there to the things of Christ, the way of following Christ? Your talents, your time, your thoughts. And I think what you'll find is that obviously, well, all of us could do better, right? Do better. That's not really the point. The point is to get a good self-evaluation where you're at, and then use that prayerfully to move forward in the area the Lord prompts you in. Now you have this self-evaluation process that you can use not as a condemnation point, but as a challenge or to propel you in the direction you need to go. You can use this in the Lord and with fellow believers. You can even ask other people, hey, man, the thoughts are going to be tough for them, right? They're not mind readers, but you can ask the other three, hey, man, where do you think I spend most of my time? What do you think I spend most of my talent? What do you think I spend most of my treasures? Especially asking those that know, maybe a spouse or something, your wife or husband, if you're a woman, listen to this. Ask them where you spend those things with no, preconditions. Hey, this is what I'm looking to accomplish. Hey, tell me. No. It's like, hey, what do you think? What do I do here? You may be surprised. Because here's the thing, what prompted this whole thing is the deceitfulness of sin. Kind of looking at that. Sin deceives us. We rationalize it. We kind of dismiss it in certain areas, the ramifications of it. It's not that big of a deal. Now, I'm not saying you got to live in this like condemning, oh no, kind of posture. No, I'm just saying always understand that sin is very deceitful. That's the nature of it. It starts with a lie. It's always an attack on the truth. That's why Paul tells us the first piece of armor is the belt of truth. You got to start there. And so in order to be in truth, one, you have to know the truth, which is ultimately know Jesus, right? John 14:6. But the truth that he lays on our heart through his word, the revelation of his word, and the guidance of the Holy Spirit in that area. And so we can start to see how it's applied in our life. So we can start to look and do an evaluation and start from there. That being our launching point to move forward prayerfully with reliance on God and his workings, because it's for his glory. So 4 things: treasures, time, talents, thoughts. Where are they? Scale of 1 to 10. All right, guys, as always, you are a warrior designed for God's glory. Walk in that, live in that, trust in that. All right, if you like the content, like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'll continue to put it out. Otherwise, stay in the fight. God be with you. Peace.